Good day, everyone. Welcome to Seeking the Truth channel. I am Simon Oladapo, your host. In our last engagement, we were considering the components of righteousness because we are considering what are the things that establishes that an authority is instituted by God. And we said, for any authority to pass the scrutiny, for any authority to qualify as one that God instituted, that authority must pass the scrutiny of righteousness. Such authority must tick the box of righteousness. And we're considering what are the components of righteousness. The first one we considered was that it must exhibit fairness, no discrimination, no favoritism, no bias, and no impartiality. The next one we considered, the next component of righteousness is that it must be right. It must be something that is right. The process must be right. The process must not run against what we call natural law. You don't have to take human life to attain that authority. We continue with our scrutiny or consideration of the components or the test of righteousness that any authority that is instituted by God must pass. We've considered fairness. It must also be right. Today, it must also pass the test of order, O-R-D-E-R. Anything that is associated with disorder has nothing to do with God. God is the God of order. God is the God of orderliness. God is the God of process. Anything that emerges from disorder cannot be associated with God. And what are the things that establishes order? One of these is what I've mentioned, process. For instance, when you have a process by which leaders must emerge, you have standards that have been set for leaders to emerge. Like, what are the qualifications that whoever will contest must possess? Like, what are the rules guiding the process? What are the goalposts that must be adhered to in emergence of leaders? These are the things that institute order. Now, by the time any authority emerges through disorder, such authority does not emanate from God, because God does not use disorder to propagate His will. God does not use disorder to establish His purpose. God is not limited to the point that He will now engage disorder to carry out His desire. And what does that mean? In simple language, any leader that emerges from breaking the law, any leader that emerges from violating process, any leader that emerges from breaking the pillars of order, that authority is not instituted by God. Let me drive it home. In the last two editions, I asserted that there is hardly any leader, there is hardly any authority that Nigeria has produced that qualifies as an authority that God instituted. Let's go to our elections. How many people today can say the leaders in position of authority, how many people can beat their chest that those who emerge in authority do not violate the process? And you do not understand me. I am not saying or suggesting that those who lost out, they are pure or that they followed others. Those who are not the authorities. The scrutiny now is on those who emerged, those who qualify as the authority. Can you, in all good conscience, stand and beat your chest that there is one single authority in Nigeria today that did not violate order to emerge, that did not violate process to emerge? You see how difficult it is? So when you say an authority that God institutes must follow order, and as I've told you, righteousness has nothing to do with religion. There are societies today where who are totally irreligious. You cannot tag them to any religion. In fact, you hardly be contradicted if you say that they are atheists as a society, but they still have the best. And the reality is this: some of those authorities in these atheist societies, they qualify as authorities instituted by God because they emerge from order and orderliness. They have laid down process that they followed. They do no regulation. They do not show favoritism. They do not show bias. They set the standards and they uphold the standards. They set the barriers, the parameters for emergent leadership, and they follow it. But because you have a religious society that tags everything to God, even disorderliness, even violation of process, we paper over it because religion has conditioned us that we can always brag God with prayers and with fasting. It doesn't work that way. So when we said there is no authority except that which is instituted by God, the only authorities instituted by God, don't forget, must pass the scrutiny of righteousness. And we've discussed 3 of them. Fairness. It must be right. And thirdly, it must obey the law of order. It must uphold the standard of process. Any leadership that emerges from the violation of process is not an authority that is instituted by God. Any authority that violates order, no matter how little, does not qualify as coming from God. But a leadership that emerges through order, that is right, that does not discriminate, fairness, it does not matter whether they are atheists, that is an authority that is instituted by God. I'll see you again next week for the continuation of this discussion. Please do not forget to like, to share, to subscribe. Please drop your comments. Let's engage. Do have a restful night. A great weekend lies ahead of you. Take good care of yourself and your family. I'll see you next week. Bye.